Greetings, current and future homebuyers. This is Eric Pelt here on my channel, Get the Mortgage. Today, we're going to talk about common VA loan myths. But first, the usual disclaimer. All lending details are accurate on the day I publish this video on YouTube, and I'm a licensed loan officer in Colorado, California, Minnesota, and Hawaii. I really encourage you to put some questions in the comment section over here. We're going to talk about the common VA myth, but essentially I'm here to answer your questions about mortgages. Any kind of residential mortgage question that you've got, I will endeavor to answer. I've been doing mortgages for 19 years. Hopefully I have an answer for you. So let's get on with the common myths about VA mortgages. First of all, here's a common one. I can't use my VA eligibility until I'm out of the military. Absolutely false. As soon as you have VA eligibility, you, Mr. and Mrs. Serviceman, can get a VA loan, even if you're stationed overseas. If you're stationed here in the United States, stationed overseas, it doesn't matter. You can get going on the loan. You can even be stationed overseas, have your family here in the United States, and get a VA mortgage so that your family has somewhere to live. That's really common. I've personally done VA loans for people who are stationed in Korea and Germany. And it can be a little bit challenging because of the distance, but obviously e-signatures make things a lot easier in that regard. So yeah, absolutely. As soon as you get your VA eligibility, you can get going on a home loan, even if you're deployed, active service, whichever. I can only use my VA eligibility once, so I'm saving it. That's another myth. You can use it over and over and over. You could do like 20 VA loans. I think the reason that one, there's some mythology there is that there's also a rule that you can't have two VA loans at the same time. That is a myth that we're going to get to in the next one. But I think that's where the myth that you can only use it once came from is, yeah. So let's go on to the next one, which I've already touched on. Veterans can only have one VA loan at a time. That's not true. It is generally difficult to end up with two VA loans at the same time because essentially you have this something called VA entitlement. And depending on how much you borrow on the first house, you may not have a lot of entitlement left to get a VA loan on the subsequent house. And there has to be some good reasons why you're going to be buying another home with a VA loan before you've even sold the old one. There has to be some good reasons on that as well. Let's see. You can only have one VA. Okay, so it is very important if you try to do one of these deals where you have two VA loans at the same time. It's important that you get your loan officer involved early so that the calculations can be done for your maximum borrowing ability on the second VA loan. Another myth, VA loans are only for first-time home buyers. This kind of dovetails with the you can only use it once myth. No, absolutely. You can even forget that you have VA eligibility, get a conventional loan, live in that house, and then when you buy your second home, you can be like, oh, wait a second, I have this awesome VA eligibility. I should have used that the first time. You can use that the second time. Even if you have a down payment, there are some good reasons to use your VA eligibility. And I think I'll get to that at the very end of this. Again, encouraging people, if you got any questions, post them over on the right. I would love to answer any kind of mortgage questions you have. It does not have to be about VA loans. I am just going live and trying to be a useful resource out there on the internet. So let's see. VA loans are only for first-time homebuyers. Second one, if I'm deployed, I can't get a VA loan. Again, going back to the first one, absolutely you can. You can be deployed overseas. You could be stationed overseas. You can be stationed in the United States, obviously. Absolutely, we can do those types of loans. And we can do that loan, again, for your family that is here in the United States. Even if you're not living here, we can still make it owner-occupied and fit the VA eligibility rules for occupancy. Okay. A couple more. VA loan costs the seller more than other loans. This is an old, this is a myth because there was a time where the seller had to pay a few of the closing costs on a VA loan. That's generally gone nowadays. I've heard in some areas that there are fees that the veteran cannot pay. Oh, I just thought of one. If there's any kind of like brokerage fee, not like the usual real estate agent commission, but if there's like if the real estate brokerage has an extra fee on top of the commission, then the VA doesn't want the borrower to pay that. But that's it. That's it. Another myth: you must have a perfect credit score to get a VA loan. Absolutely not. Here at Caliber, we go down at the time of this writing down to 580. So 580 is low. You can get a VA loan with a credit score that low. And we do it very commonly. Another thing about that is if you do not have a credit score, if you have never borrowed and thus you have no score whatsoever, we have solutions for that as well, either helping you build a credit score before you purchase or manual underwrite. VA loans take longer to close. That's another myth. There's sort of a yes and a no to that. Occasionally it takes us longer to get a VA appraisal. Because the VA handles the entire appraisal process. On a conventional FHA, USDA, jumbo loan, any of those types of loans, we as the lender have those, or we're in control of the appraisal process. We've got our own AMC. We make sure that all the Dodd-Frank regulations are followed, and so we handle it, and we have then full transparency for, from soup to nuts through the process. With VA, it's different. We send the contract and the order to the VA. They handle the appraiser, getting the appraisal back to us. And they have the contract with the appraisers. So sometimes things can go a little more slowly on those VA appraisals, but otherwise, there's nothing about a VA loan that takes longer. Especially now that certificate of eligibility is like an electronic process. I think like 15 years ago, getting the certificate of eligibility involved like, faxing over the GD 214 to the VA and waiting a few days for any kind of response. Now it's very much electronic and it's very fast. So VA loans are more difficult to appraise. So that's a great one. VA appraisers are held to a higher standard of protecting the veteran or the active duty serviceman. I keep using veteran, but I also mean active duty. So the appraisers are required to look a little bit more closely at the property than on a conventional loan. They're looking for cracks in the foundation, peeling paint, those kinds of things. And the VA has those guidelines in there to protect the veteran or the serviceman. There are ways around it as long as it's not a health and safety issue. If there's a problem found on the appraisal that's not a health and safety issue, the veteran or I should say the borrower can also write a letter that says, I'm okay with the peeling paint. I'm planning on having the house repainted. Or there's like a broken window pane, the veteran can say, or the borrower can say, I'm planning on getting that fixed. So we can just kind of ignore it. Okay. So there's a possibility for that. If it's not health and safety, the veteran or the borrower can just take on that responsibility. So, let's see, that's the last of my bullet points. And then the next thing I was going to talk about was costs. Let's see, there was one on here that was, VA loans cost more. Well, actually, that was VA loans cost the seller more than other loans. And that triggered in my head, why would you do a VA loan if you have a 20% down payment or something like that? Oh, well, let's back up for just a second here. First of all, why use your VA eligibility benefits? Because you can do 100% financing with no mortgage insurance, and the interest rates are generally better than conventional. By an eighth, by a quarter. I've seen it as much as a half a percentage point better than conventional interest rates. So, they're not like the Cadillac of mortgages. They're the Rolls Royce of mortgages. VA loans are awesome. And supposedly they have like the lowest default rate of all mortgages originated. So that's why you'd want to use it if you had a low down payment. But if you have a big down payment, why bother? Well, really, it's the interest rate thing. You can get a significantly lower interest rate, even if you're making medium or small down payment. So that kind of covers all the common myths that I had. Let's see, what else do I got? What else can I say about VA loans? I'm a huge proponent of using a veteran's VA eligibility, whether they're active duty or retired. It's just one of the best things that our servicemen have earned over during their service, and it's a benefit that they definitely should take advantage of over and over throughout their life if need be. So, well, I stalled out on the things that I'd want to talk about. I was hoping I would get some questions in the comment section, but I don't got anything right now. So, well, we made it about 11 minutes in, and I got no comments, so I will wrap up my live session here. Again, this is Eric Peltier with Get the Mortgage, and I can be found at any time at ericpeltier.com. I will put the information down below. It's ERICPELTIER.com. I can be found at that location. I lend in Colorado, California, Minnesota, and Hawaii. I would love to be of service for you. So anyhow, have a great one. Thanks.